How you doing? My name's Andy Valdi. I'm a graphic design student at the Illinois Institute of Art, and I've been on Deviant for about 2 years now. I've been getting a lot of requests from users that they want me to give tutorials on how I create my pieces. I just actually tried to make a tutorial on this video camera, and after playing it back, forgot that video cameras mirror the image, so I couldn't like accurately give you a tutorial. I need to get software to actually do that. I'm just going to talk a little bit about how to use certain things in Photoshop to your advantage to make your pieces look less raw and more real. Well, more professional, I guess you would want to say. Basically, for me to get my images to look the way they look, I use a mixture of blending modes, with layers stacked on top of each other of the same layer, and also I use levels and brightness and contrast. That's a huge one for me. When I first learned Photoshop, that's basically the thing that I screwed around with the most, and now I just boom, 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 I'm done with it. 2 seconds, I can make the image look so much better. Just basically experimenting with the tools on Photoshop. I can't tell you how to get your images to look exactly like mine. In my opinion, everybody's images are going to look different because everyone has their own style, they all have different knowledge, and we all work differently. Just like, I don't know, playing sports. If you're gonna, kick a soccer ball, there's a general rule of thumb of how to kick a soccer ball, but everybody kicks a soccer ball differently. So for me to tell you exactly how to do something, I don't know if you'd be able to follow it, and I don't think I can explain it to you exactly. Also, what you want to do is you want to mix the blending modes. Get your blending modes working pretty well, where okay, this is what's going to happen when I use overlay or multiply, whatever. And then take your blending modes, duplicate your layer, and then add a filter effect. Motion blur is like a huge one for me that I use all the time for pretty much everything that I do. There is a motion blur in there. You may not see it. That's because I use a blending mode to go on top, which blends the colors together and actually makes colors look more vibrant, and the whole piece kind of works together that way. Basically, mix your blending modes with your effects, and then use your effects also with layer masks. And for me, motion's a huge thing. So far a lot of my most recent pieces that I've uploaded have motion, and so what I do is I take the motion blur, set it to the angle I want, and I take a layer mask and I just isolate the portion that I want the viewer to see, so that when you look at it, it looks like it's actually moving, but in all reality the entire piece is just blurred from a certain angle. Vertical, horizontal, whatever you want. Actually, the piece behind me, this piece here, I used a lot of actually, everything in there has a motion blur on it. You may not be able to see it. For some things, the swirls and the stuff like that, stuff, it's got an overlay so that you can't, it made the colors more vibrant. But for like the background, the whole background, all the colors I put into a motion blur, and then I mask them so that you can't see certain sections that looked bad and all that stuff, and then layering them all on top of each other, and I created that piece. The hand is actually motion blurred. You can't see the hand that's motion blurred, but that's how you get the white outline around it. It's kind of like an experiment. Think of it this way: when you go into Photoshop, Don't go into Photoshop inside the box thinking, okay, I'm gonna do it this way, and this way. Like a lot of people, you know, want you, or a lot of my teachers want me to have an exact plan of what I want to do when I'm gonna go into Photoshop, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, I still do it. I make up a general idea of what I want to do, but I leave the options open where when I start the project, I know what I want it, I know what I'm going for, but I want to leave it open to where, you know, me messing around in there, I can come up with something completely different that I never really had envisioned in the first place. Well, I kind of had envisioned, but where it's kind of a little bit more manipulated and it actually looks more, I don't know, more eye-pleasing, I guess is what I want to say. You want to leave the options open to yourself so that you can create something, you know, something new, something different. And, you know, having a plan is good, but also experimenting and just getting into it is probably right now one of the things that's kind of made my artwork kind of different. I wouldn't say my stuff is polished or anything like that, but I definitely say that I have a unique style, and just getting into it really has broadened my horizons. I've just from mixing things together, I've learned things that, you know, my teachers didn't even know, and that people that I've been, you know, keeping in contact with over the internet and all that stuff that are artists don't even know about. And that's the cool thing about digital art. You can, you know, the computer's your canvas, and you can just throw random things in there, mix them together, and if they don't look good, you can delete a part of it. Maybe that'll look better after you delete a part, maybe not. Duplicate a layer about 20 times, see what it looks like. All kinds of stuff like that. That's why I leave those options open to myself. The only other thing that I would give you for rule of thumb, that if you want to make a professional looking piece, is duplicate your layers, and before you manipulate the layer. Because if you screw up the other layer, you can just delete, then duplicate the layer again and start over on, you know, what you left off on. And also remember, you don't have to keep adding layers on top of each other. Try flattening the entire image, then opening it up in a new project as a flattened image, and then start adding more layers on top of it. You gotta kind of get creative with it, you know. Use the computer creatively to get what you want, and you'll probably come up with something that's completely different. So if you're stuck on, you know, a certain rut that you're in and that you're trying to get out of it, I think what I've said is kind of going to help you. But if you need anything else, or if you have any other questions or comments about this, feel free to give them to me. And hopefully this helped a little bit. I know I talk a lot, but when it comes down to this, it's kind of like it's a passion for me. So I like sharing what I've done with everybody. So once again, I'm Andy. If you need to contact me, you can visit me on DeviantArt, whatever the front part of DeviantArt is. My username is SkatinKid1, SK8INKID1. Or if you want to see my my freelance gallery, Rock Vibe Productions, it's rockvibeproductions.com, which also has the link to my DeviantArt Facebook page and MySpace page right on there. And yeah, so thanks for stopping by. I hope I helped a little bit, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.